Yes, we do. Welcome back to Imagine Not Being Leeds. I've got Bossnass tonight, same as last week when we compiled a absolutely amazing, appallingly amazing worst 11 of the last 20 years. Today we're going to do the opposite, and we're going to do the best side compilation of the best players we've had in the last 20 years, starting from 04-05 through to the present day, not 03-04. Danny in the chat. So there's a few big hitters who's going to have to miss out on that basis. But firstly, how are you doing, Bossnass? You well, mate?
I'm good, mate. First thing I'll say is that since last stream, I thought, let's just get on first name terms. So if you look in my bottom left-hand corner,
there we go.
There we go.
I didn't even notice, mate. I'm so used to just calling you Bossnass now, mate, which is quite cool. You sound like a boss at the end of a Sonic level. I really like it.
I do actually run a business. So that's where it came from originally. But excited for this. It should be good.
Yeah, hopefully, mate, it does well, mate. Because, like I say, it's brilliant sitting down there and working them out when it going through the list. And I mean, I don't know about you, but a lot of them spring to mind, and I write them down. And then I go through squad lists at years, and a couple of odd gems jump out who I sort of forgot. Especially on the last one. This one was a bit easier to remember the names. There wasn't much really that I missed. Trying to get it into an 11 is quite difficult, but the last one we did, the poorer players, there were some absolute shockers that I really had to look into. But yeah, this one should be fun, mate. But just so chat know and everyone watching that me and Dan, you said a Bossnass, me and Dan we were struggling for formation, weren't we, pal? So we decided on a 4-4-2 diamond, just to try and get two strikers in. Because there's a player at the tip of the diamond, which I think everyone will know needs to be in there. But there's a 4-2-3-1 formation that we're going to touch on at end, where there might be a few changes to that, because Dan especially, I think we're struggling to get a certain player or a couple of players in this diamond. So at the end, we'll switch up the formation a tad and just touch on the changes you would make. But are we happy to go with a 4-4-2 diamond, pal? Yeah,
I'm happy with a 4-4-2 diamond. I just want to say though that the formation, when it comes to Leeds United's best 11 of the last 20 years, is so crucial. It means some people miss out. It means some people get in. So it's one of them where I said to Matt pre-show, maybe we do a notable mentions where we just change up the midfield a little bit in the second, towards the end of the stream, because there's one player in here that I just won't be able to sleep if I didn't get him in there.
No, well, we'll see. Like I say, if he can't get in this one, mate, then we'll touch on it at end. But let's get this show on the road. Evening Top Banana. Let's quickly go through these. Easy. Cantona for his inspiration. Yeah, last 20 years, easy. So from 04-05, that first time we got relegated, through to the current year. If we're going on history, mate, there's some absolute worlders in there, and it'd have been a lot easier, I suppose. But yeah, just from the 04-05, so just stop any confusion. Yeah, an evening. So Danny's had a few in already. Sean's done his. Danny's done his. But let's get into it anyway. Goalkeepers, right? Who's on your list of goalkeepers, Dan?
Well, I've just got one more thing to ask you, because this would literally decide my goalkeeper. Are we going on the career or the performance at Leeds, or are we going based on the player's full career?
I think it varies from player to player, doesn't it? Because let's be fair, we're going to have some League One players potentially in here, Championship players, overlooking Premier League players in some instances. So I think it's all just personal. So I feel like you go with who you think and see if we connect on it. But yeah, a multitude of reasons, mate. Depends who it is, I suppose.
Right. I'll tell you what, I'll give you my list, because it'll open up exactly what I'm saying.
I think I'm going the same way as you with this one. When you say name, I think I'm going to be the same as you.
I'm not sure.
Right, go on.
So I've got Rob Green.
Yep.
I've got Jack Butland.
Okay.
I've got Elan Meslier. However, my keeper for this 11, based on, and remember this, Leeds fans, based on the entirety of the career, I know you want a popular bloke down here, Kasper Schmeichel.
Oh, mate, he's on my list as well. It's going to, honestly, this is going to be a tricky one, this, pal. This is going to be tricky. So I didn't go with Butland. My list is Meslier, Green, Schmeichel and Neil Sullivan. I thought Sullivan would have good play. And he had a good career as well at Wimbledon as well. This is me very, very, very difficult, with this one because I can see like Danny's put Schmeichel. You've got easy in chat saying Melier. Sean's like no chance. I mean, I don't know if you agree with me, Dan, but Melier, he isn't going on that list. He can't be. I mean, he's probably played more games than all of them combined. To be fair,
I mean,
nah.
There'll be some Leeds fans that hate me for this, but Melier for me was a one-season wonder. I'll say it. Like
I'm saying, mate. I'm saying he's I don't feel comfortable putting Melier between sticks for best keeper in the last 20 years, but it goes to show, doesn't it? There's some key positions, as we'll touch on in this live, where we haven't really, put much quality in there over 20 years. And like I said to you before, with live, we've been Premier League 3 seasons. We're top at Championship for 2 of them. And some of these positions we're really struggling, only a few. Some of them are stacked, as you've said, some areas are stacked, but there is some of them where we're struggling. And when you look at being a Premier League side only a few years ago for 3 seasons combined, and to think we aren't really, like left back and stuff like that, there's certain positions what we've never really strengthened in the last 20 years since the O'Leary days, which is criminal really for a side like Leeds. So I'm going to put it out to chat. This 6 year win at the minute. I were thinking Schmeichel or Green.
Well, for me, Matt, there's only one Premier League winner there, isn't there?
Yeah, that's why I put him down, mate. I know he only did 1 season, and he was outstanding for that season. So, like you say, it depends what you go in with, doesn't it? If you go with your heart, or if you go with someone who's played more minutes, you go Melier. If you've got that experience in Sullivan and Green, who had good long careers, but like you say, Schmeichel did win a title, but it's that Man United connection. It's just hard, isn't it?
It's his dad as well, isn't it? It's his dad. Yeah,
but like I say, it depends what you go with. Like I say, for Leeds, he only played 1 season, but when you look at, it's not like he's got some worldies in that conversation either, is he? You know what I mean? So I would say Schmeichel, if I'm honest. I think he's won Premier League. He's had arguably as good a career as Rob Green and Sullivan anyway, really. He's played many games at Premier League level. So for me, I'm going to go Kasper Schmeichel.
Yeah, World Cups and European Championships as well, by the
way. Yeah, well, we're going Schmeichel, and don't murder me in chat for spelling.
No,
because
Matt, it's the right decision. If you was picking a goalkeeper and you was picking them based on the peak of their powers when they were most in form, I don't think we can go anywhere else.
I don't. But how sad is that, Dan, that he did 1 year for us in Championship, and he's arguably our best keeper for the last 20 years. That is criminal, that.
It is bad, but you got to remember, he's done a few interviews, and you got to remember the time when he came in, the whole club in the background was an absolute circus.
Yeah, I know it was. Green won a title with Chelsea.
maybe off the bench, Sean.
Yeah. He's doing who's that one at City now? Is it Carson? Is he doing a Carson?
Yeah.
Just picking up his wage and just being a ball boy, really. Putting codes down in training, yeah. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that decision, mate. Like I say, I couldn't really decide between him and Rob Green, but I always like Rob Green. But when you look at the title, I think it's got to be on it. Green won the Europa League as well, yeah. But I think Schmeichel gets that one, mate. Schmeichel gets that one. Right, where do you want to go? Left back or right back? Dan?
I'll go left back because I've only got one name down. But I think, look, you might have someone who you think deserves it more, but for me, it's the good old lad Gaetano Berardi.
Oh, you're going to have him playing at left back out of position because I've got him at right back. I mean, he filled in at left back, he did, but primarily right back. But
I can't put him at right back for a very specific reason.
Yeah, I know. I'm probably the same. So, yeah, I agree to a level there. I do like Brad. He's on my list as right backs because I could not have him on my list. But I think there is better players at left back, right? So you've obviously got recency bias Firpo, but that he isn't getting in the team. But he's got to get mentioned.
Yeah.
Alioski, because I think he was a fan favourite and everyone loved him, and he was playing probably a left wing back. He played left wing quite a lot, but got to get mentioned. I think probably one of the better left backs, actual left backs, who was an actual left back, was Stephen Warnock in a rough time. I think he gets a mention, but I think has to go to another player playing out of position here, mate. And I think this again goes to show how poor we've been in terms of, actual signings in certain positions. It's got to go to Stuart Dallas for me, Dan.
Yeah, I can see that, and I can concede that. But let me say this: if If you've got Berardi in this team at right back, I can't fly with that.
No, he's good. He's getting a mention for right back, mate, and we love him. But no, and yeah, there's a couple of mentions at right back, but I'm pretty sure I know where we're going with that one. But yeah, I reckon I'll be happy with Dallas because I know he's not a left back as such, but that goes to show how poor our recruitment's been in certain areas in certain seasons. Because Dallas were always just filling in at left back, and he always did a 7, a bit like Byram this season. He'll always do you a solid job, won't he? Probably better than, don't get me wrong, better than Byram. But Dallas one of my favourite players. I think wherever you put him, you get a 7, 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
But he shouldn't be getting in Leeds United's, best side of the last 20 years at left back. He shouldn't be. But
that's fair enough. That's fair. I had him in my midfield list, to be fair,
which is fine as well. Mate, to be fair, he was almost on my goalkeeper list, mate. You know what I mean? You know what you're getting. You know what you're getting from Dallas, mate.
Yeah.
You know what you're getting. So yeah, left back, we're going Dallas. Right. Let's skip right back for now and shift across to the centre half. Give us a centre half before we go right back.
Well, there's one that can't be argued. Surely, Radaby.
Yeah, it's got to be. I mean, it slipped my mind. He did 2 years in Championship for us, mate. I think he only played an handful of games. Like, he weren't. I don't know if he come back from injury. I'm sure it said he only played 3 or 4 games. But without doubt, Lucas gets in there, mate, 100%. The Chief.
I mean, it'd be a cardinal sin, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would, mate. It would. And like you say, it might not have been his best in those couple of years, but his name's on there, and there's no way I'm not putting him in, regardless of what he'd done. He could have played 3 games and scored 15 own goals, mate. He'd have still got in there. It's the Chief. It's the Chief. They're looking at getting him back to club as well, aren't they? In some sort of ambassador role, I've read today, which would be brilliant.
Oh, I hope so, mate.
I hope so too, mate. Absolute legend. Absolute legend. So Radaby, yeah, Danny obviously had to be. And then you've gone Coops as well. Ooh, so
no, I don't have that, mate. I don't have that.
No, well, this is I'm not switching around, but on my list, again, it goes to show the poor recruitment because this list of players here, I've got League One players, Championship players, and you think we've signed Llorente, Robin Koch, not even on my list. Not even on my list. How bad's that when you look at it? So for me, mate, Radaby's on there. I've got Patrick Kisnorbo on my list. Thought he was an absolute mountain when we had him.
He was.
Liam Cooper deserves to be on the list. He deserves to
make the list. He doesn't deserve to make the team.
No, definitely not. But deserves a mention. And then you've got Pontus Jansson and I think Pascal Strauch. And I think Pascal Strauch's ceiling is right up there. But yeah, I think Kisnorbo, Cooper, Jansson, and Strauch.
Well, listen, the guy who I've got starred hasn't even been mentioned yet.
All right. Interesting.
Can I go through my list?
Of course you can, mate.
Right, and this might be another one, but I'm sure he played more centre back for Leeds than anywhere else. So I've got Radaby.
Yep.
Sol Bamba.
Yep, I didn't put him down, but yeah.
Jansson.
Yep.
Struick.
Yep.
Rodon.
Yep.
But my guy, who I think, if we're just going on the quality of the player, my guy is Ben White.
Oh, wow, it slipped my mind, Ben White. Yeah. I'll tell you what, that's going straight out to chat again, because I didn't have White down. Totally slipped my mind, and I didn't put Bamba down. I saw Bamba, to be fair. I think I must just have forgot to put him in, but yeah. Sol Bamba were decent, championship level, full stop for us. He would definitely our best centre half for those few years. And when it comes to Ben White, yeah, it's an hard on that, mate, because Ben White, let's be fair, he's
a Rolls Royce, mate.
Yeah, apart from the Chief, he's as good as everyone else on list. Well, better than everybody else on list, isn't it? It's hard because I had it down that we were putting Kisnorbo down, and I was buzzing for that.
Do you remember that goal? Do you remember that? I'll say, that goal.
Yeah,
from Ben White,
unreal, mate. His only goal he scored all season, chest volley from outside box.
Yeah.
I don't know then. So I haven't counted loan plays. Yeah, they still count, mate. They still count. Especially that one, bloody season.
If you played the full season near enough, I think.
Yeah. I think you've got to count them. Yeah, I mean it's one of them, Danny, where there won't be many in there. Will the loan players where you'd probably think of, but I think Ben White went up. Yeah, I don't know. What's chat saying? Do we go Ben White? For me, it's between Ben White and Kisnorbo.
Matty, I'll say this: if you're trying to win a football game tomorrow as a manager, do you start Ben White or Paddy Kisnorbo?
No, I know. But I don't know. It's hard because Kisnorbo's just like he's just a legend in my eyes, and you've got Ben White who did a year and went to Arsenal.
Well, yeah, he might. Yeah, but look, we tried to sign him. He wanted to come.
Yeah, to be fair, it's hard because I try to mentally switch now to White when I know White's the best player on the list. To be fair,
you've got to do it for the integrity of the video.
I think I'm gonna have to go White. I'm annoyed I didn't even think of him, but yeah, White's got to go in there. He actually has. He has, just for what he's doing now. He'd be playing for England as well, wouldn't he, if he hadn't spat his dummy out?
Absolutely, mate.
Yeah, he's got to go on list. So there's going to be some we'll disagree on this in terms of chat as well. But yeah, if I'd have thought of White, he'd have been on list anyway. But I do think Kisnorbo and Pascal Struijk were close. And I think that's credit to Kisnorbo when he was a League One player for us. Do you know what I mean? Like, he really cemented his place him as a proper hard nut. You know, I remember game when he got bandaged up on the blood coming down, and fair play to him to even be in conversation with Ben White. I'll give him that.
It was his attitude more than anything. He just went.
No, it really was, mate. It really was. I mean, he was just a leader, wasn't he? And in our dark,
he went to war.
Some of these players didn't have that high quality, but because there were the odd shining light in such a dark time, and he was one of them, wasn't he? He was one of them.
He just went to war every game, didn't he? He just went to war.
And that's all we asked for, mate. That's all we asked for. Yeah. So I'm liking. Look at this so far. I'm liking this. Unsubbing for that scandalous behaviour, lol. He wanted Kisnorbo. To be fair, mate, I can't argue with Ben White, but I'm there with you, Sean. I'm there with you, mate. If Kisnorbo were watching it, he'd have a wry smile on his face knowing that he still talks about it.
What I'll say is, Sean, when we do the 4-2-3-1 of notable mentions, he's going to be in there.
He'll be in there, mate. Yeah, he'll be in there. Coop should have been on the list years before we got rid of him. Are you a Cooks fan? Easy. Have I read that wrong? Right back.
It's only one person, and I'll let you say it because it can only be one person.
It is only one person, of course. And I think this person would get this shirt if we were talking about the entirety of Leeds United, the 100+ years. Yeah. And I know we've had Paul Reaney and we've had some absolute worldies there, but Gary Kelly gets it. He would get that shirt every day. Although another notable mention is Luke Ayling.
Yeah,
if it weren't for Gary Kelly, would be a shoo-in. Ayling's been phenomenal, but 100% Gary Kelly gets it.
Luke Ayling's on my list, but let me say, do you know when, as a Leeds United fan, you look back at when you started supporting the club and you have that one player in your mind that you can't shift?
Yeah.
That is Leeds United for you. That is just Leeds United for you. Gary Kelly, to me, is Leeds United.
Yeah. Yeah, no, 100% Mr. Leeds United. I mean, 500 odd games. I think he's the only player outside the Revy era that's since that era that's played that many games for us. And when you consider how good he was, we went down and he stayed with us 2 years in Championship as well. You know, trying to get us back up there. You know, just an absolute leader. So good up and down. It was like his engine were unbelievable, mate. Like you see, wing backs now up and down, up and down. Gary Kelly did that all day.
Yeah. But for me, it was like he lived and breathed Leeds United as well. Like he was just, to me, he's Mr. Leeds United from my era. Do you know what I mean? If they put a statue up of him, I wouldn't have an issue with it.
Yeah, no, me neither, mate. Me neither. He's just such a. He didn't bother for limelight at all, is he? I mean, he's not someone you hear talking now. He's totally like we were talking about on last one where we had Danny Mills also battled him for that right back shirt. Absolute tosser. Comes out, says all the shit he comes out with. Gary Kelly, just living his life, just chilled out somewhere. I mean, I was buzzing me, mate. You know, when I went to Championship final last year when we lost. I've just gone through. I'm queuing up, right? And I get to the front turn and I look left and the queue next to me, Gary Kelly's there with his son, right? And I'm like, oh my God. So I'm there looking, panicking. I nearly dropped my phone, trying to scan in, like, didn't know what I was doing. Finally got through turnstile and I just went. And honestly, we're there. He had this little flat cap on. Nobody were bothering him at all. It was like he was just a normal bloke, right? And I got through turnstile and I went, Gary. And he turned around and I went, please, can I have a photo with you, mate? I'm so sorry. And it me, this big bloody fat guy, doing selfie with Gary. Honestly, mate. Like I was a little kid again. And he did. He had a selfie with him just as I was going up all escalators up to his seat at Wembley. And I loved it. I mean, he's a legend of mine because I used to go to a school called Farnley Park High School. Anyone in chat knows. But and there's like a brand new build. When I was at school, it was like a brand new build. We called it all posh houses in New Farnley. I lived in Old Farnley, and these were in New Farnley. But now, they've been there a few years. But at the time, but they're just normal, nice houses, but just normal houses. And Gary Kelly lived up one. Like, you come out of my school gates, and he went first house, not left it. But like, I remember one day, I shouldn't have done it really. I remember one day knocking on his door asking for an autograph, and he came and he signed it. And he had 2 big boxer dogs, and we used to see him walking around Park, where we used to play, just walking. And this is when we were in Premier League with O'Leary, playing in Champions League, and he was literally just the most normal guy. School gates, walking past school gates, walking his 2 boxer dogs, and you're just like, this is unreal.
Yeah.
It was
you hear people going on about, like, and rightly so, by the way. Wow. You get people talking about how modest and how approachable Bielsa was at Costa Coffee and stuff like this.
Yeah,
Gary Kelly was the exact same way. He's just a top bloke. When I was young, everybody remembers the first memory of Leeds United. I was around my granddad's house, and I don't even remember the age that I was. And I think Leeds were playing Burnley, and I can't even be sure of that. All I remember is coming back to my mum and dad's house, and I couldn't stop talking about Leeds United and Gary Kelly, and that was my thing, Gary Kelly.
Class, mate. Absolutely class. Remember that goal? What Sean says there, that goal against Wigan. Honestly, mate, he didn't score many, but when he did, Christ Almighty, such a player. And before Kelly, Mel Sterling, to be fair, mate, the war. So we've had a few. We've had a few good right backs, but he's by far just the legend. I don't think there'd be a Leeds fan anywhere in the world that I disagree with us putting him there. Even in the entirety of the club, I don't think he's right up there, isn't he? Danny, you know it well. Yeah, that was my former stomping ground, mate. Many moons ago. Kelly and Giggs booing each other. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that too. Yeah. Absolutely. Right, well, that were an easy one to agree on that one. I knew it would be. Right, so moving on, we're going to go for the DM position. So it's a bit of an hard one, like I say, with formations, but I feel like centre at Park, I was struggling a little bit, for like massive like depth of quality. Like, I mean, I'll read my list off. I had Rudolph Austin down, but I know you're not a fan. But I think for the time, I think it would. But that's how much I'm scratching around. I had Johnny Howson down.
Yeah.
And then I didn't realise you were there for that 1 year. Eric Bakker, he was a legend, him. Eric Bakker was class back in there. Like, I liked Eric Bakker, but I feel like the way we've sort of modified this so we can get a particular someone at the top of the diamond. I feel like Calvin has got to get that. Maybe I'm talking shit with that. It sounds, I don't know.
We was talking about that one person I couldn't get into this team that I really wanted to get into this team right at the beginning.
Yeah.
That's Eric Bakker.
Eric Bakker. Well, that's the thing. Because, like, now you've said it, I'm saying. I mean, I put him down at list, and it felt criminal not putting him on. But like you say, he don't fit that system.
But he has to make this is why I said a 4-2-3-1, because in that system, he has to make the notable mention team.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. Well, part of the Bakker one for now, but I'm glad we agree. But yeah, I was stressed about the Bakker one. I was like, how do I fit him in here? Just like if we'd have done the 4-2-3-1, you can't fit everybody in, can you? Like in certain positions, like if we'd have done a standard 4-4-2, the player at the tip of the diamond wouldn't have really suited it. So we've sort of had to modify it for that. But I think KP, but in this formation, has to be KP. I'm glad you agree, Sean. Yeah, it's got to be in this formation.
Yeah, I don't know who else to put in.
No, I don't. Oh, what about this mention? Danny don't mind up here. Ronaldo Vieira.
What? Yeah,
I thought he would have been next big thing.
Getting his injuries sorted out.
Yeah, not too right. Sean Bakker was in. Yeah, it's not really what they did that year. It depends what you're looking for. You've got players here who might have had really good seasons, and that's why they're in a bit like Kasper Schmeichel had a right good season, but he only did one. So we're sort of going off the name of the player and how well he'd done afterwards. I mean, yeah, it's like Radeby, mate. He only played, I think, I actually think it was 3 full games, or the amount of 3 full games over those 2 years in Championship. So really, he wouldn't get in on base, but because his name's on there, you've got to go with that. That's how I'm sort of looking at it with Bakker, and I'm sure Dan's doing the same with that.
What I'd say is this team is picked on the players at the peak of their powers. So imagine them at the best.
Yeah. Whether it was Leeds or not, their name, they're the best version of themselves, basically.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Danny's hit nail on the head there, mate. When you look what Danny said, Bakker was a CM, not a DM, as far as I can remember. Hence why we're looking at a formation tweak to see what the difference will be at the end.
Yeah, you're right, Danny. This is Danny. That's exactly why I couldn't put him at DM. I did like the nerdy thing of even searching to see how many minutes he played at DM, and he didn't do much at all. So yeah, I think it's got to be KP, as Matty says.
Yeah, I think so.
And that's not a bad thing, by the way. KP, when he was at his best, unreal.
Unreal, mate. Unreal. Over the last 20 years, like you say, when you look at his midfielders, for those couple of years we had him playing at his pomp, it were unreal. Yeah. Like Easy says, he's won more than any of the other contenders. So yeah, it's gonna be Calvin Phillips in that one, 100%. And let's be fair, as just only having one DM, mate, rather than having two in midfield, he absolutely bosses it. Whether he still boss it now, I don't know. I'd like to see him play for Ipswich or whoever he plays for in future as the single pivot, because I think that's his best position. I don't feel like you need to. He's always played better as a one, hasn't he? You know what I mean? That's where he plays his best football. So it'd be interesting to see if he ever ends up with that position again. Yeah. Quarterback, pinging balls left and right. In our side of the last 20 years, is definitely in our midfield. KP's one more than others.
Yeah, for me, Calvin needs a manager who's willing to put their arm around him and
yeah.
He talks about Bielsa and I rang him up. For me, he's got incredible technical ability, but also he's got a touch of being a confidence player. And when that goes, you start. So he needs that manager that can reassure him. And I think once he gets that again, because I don't think Moyes was that.
No, do you not feel like he's gone to Ipswich, maybe looking for that? Because when you look at Ipswich's story in McKenna, it's similar to Leeds with Bielsa in terms of average players getting them playing above the potential. You know, you think he's taking them from League One to Championship to Premier League, and he's done that with League One Championship level players, and now they're playing in Premier League. So it's a bit of a similar story. You know, I'd say a lesser version, but some would argue it's a better version because they've gone up 2 divisions. But maybe he's looked at that and said, well, look what he can do with average players. That's what Bielsa did for me. Maybe that's a good fit for me. I think that's probably what tipped him going there, you know.
Yeah, he's a bit of a home bird, isn't he, Calvin?
He is.
But I would have liked to have seen him go to like a mid-table Spanish or French team.
Get out of country, go somewhere else and give it a go. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. I think he'd be sound in Italy. I think Italy, you know, the
suit him down to the ground. Yeah,
so you know, the Yorkshire Perlo and stuff. You know, but genuinely, I do think Italy would suit him to the ground. But if I'm honest, mate, I don't think we'll see best of Phillips ever again unless he comes back to Leeds. And I don't think we need him. I don't think we'll look at it. Too much money and all that. But I think he'll only reach those dizzy heights again if he ever can at Leeds, because that's the place where he loves the most. You know what I mean? I just feel like
I understand that. I can see him. Do you know? I don't like saying this because it makes my skin crawl, but I think coming back to Leeds, but also and look, don't start giving me rubbish because of this opinion, but I think if he went to Sheffield United under Wilder, that type of manager being close to home.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's no against that. I get what you mean. Is that kind of manager you play for? We don't like it, but to be fair, it's good value, isn't it? Like 100%. I mean, if you were part of the setup, you'd love him, wouldn't you? If he were that, we'd love him, but he's not, and we think he's a twat. But yeah, I can definitely see what you mean by that one, pal. It's all based on his manager's connection more than the tactics and style of play. I feel like if he gets the right manager for him, that's what he's been lacking ever since Bielsa, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, 100%.
He didn't have it with Jesse, did he? He was still at Leeds then. He didn't have it with then. You know what I mean? It was literally Bielsa or bust, really, for Calvin. But yeah, rather send him to Bradford. Yeah, man. Get to Bradford. Right then. So what we're doing next? Are we going left, right, or the top of the?
I would like to go right midfield because I only have one option for this.
Well, there's only one going in, mate. But there's a couple of mentions. Can I say the mentions? And if you're saying the name.
Well, yeah, because if you go through the mentions and my guy's on the mentions, I don't know what's going on.
Well, I'm going to leave the guy out I think's on the mentions, mate. I'll leave him out for now because I just think it's one man. But I aren't too sure me on left and right. So I'm just going to say then again, I'm going to say my wingers. One of them is going to be left as well, but I'll leave the one out, I think. So I've got down Gradle, Snodgrass, and then I've got Somerville and Nonto. Which sounds
on the right,
but for both, really. For either side, I'm not really asked. They all play bloody the same thing to me. I'm not really asked. But there is one more name, but I'll let you say it because we know who's going on right.
It's got to be Rafinha, hasn't it?
Of course it has, mate. He's arguably one of the most talented players we've ever seen at Leeds, like genuinely, like ever. And I think he's finally proving now, after a dodgy year or two, really, what I thought he'd be like when he left. You know what I mean? I genuinely thought we had the next big star in our hands, and now he's finally proving that he is one of the best players in the world, which is scandalous that we had him only a few years ago. Imagine if we'd have kept him. Imagine if we'd have had him last year. We had him and Somerville on the wing, and it's crazy. But what a player! What a player!
Yeah.
Left side. Have you got any
This
names?
is a wild card for me because it's based on where the player has played previous to coming to Leeds.
All right.
And yeah, but do you want me to say it or do you want to go through a list?
Well, have you got anyone different to my list of Snodgrass, Gradle, Somerville, Nonto?
Yes.
Go on then.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine who, to be fair. I thought I'd covered these. Go on then.
So I've got Gradle, Somerville, Ramanzani. I had to put Ramanzani in because you rate him above Somerville. So
I do. I didn't put him down because it was such a small sample size, but I think he's going to be up there, massive.
But my guy, so I've got your guys, but my guy, because I can't fit him in anywhere else, and he played left previous to coming to Leeds, is Jorginho Rutter.
To be fair, mate, I've got him down, but I've got him down at tip at Diamond. Yeah, I've got him down for that. Just
for Hoffenheim, he played off the left, right?
He did, mate, yeah, he did, mate. Yeah, yeah, not a bad shout. Because again, really good year last year. He's now doing really well in Premier League, and I think his ceiling is high. I think he'll have a good career going forward. But the left, I'm a little bit torn up left me. So I don't think Rutter gets that in our team. If I'm honest, I think he's a notable mention. Okay. I think it's got to be. I don't think Nonto. It's got to be between Snodgrass, Gradle, and Somerville. It's got. I'm not massive on Somerville, but he did that last year. But we didn't go up either, so I'm not massive on him. So, are we going to get any league winners in here or what? Like, I'm looking at Snodgrass and Gradle, me, and going, surely one of these gets
You know my opinion on Gradle. I absolutely worship the ground the guy walks on.
You do. What does the chat think?
Snodgrass again, though. Snodgrass was unbelievable for a long time.
Snodgrass was class, mate. Snodgrass was. I mean, I might be wrong with that. I don't know if Snodgrass played out right more than left or what, but for me, out of them, Gradle, same. They might have both played on right, but there isn't many on left anywhere to go from other than maybe a Somerville or a Rutter, like you say. So for me, if Gradle or Snodgrass is worth getting in there and they played on right, I'd stick them on left for what it is. But yeah, I'd like to know, chat, Snoddy or Gradle. I love Snodgrass, me. I remember once sitting in TGI Fridays. It was mad, man. When we were in League One and that, these players, I was sat in TGI Fridays with my ex, and he's just sat on the table next to me eating just in middle, like Saturday 2 o'clock, just eating chicken and chips. And I'm like, he plays for Leeds United, man. What are you doing? Like, you just never see it when you at the dizzy heights we got to, or even maybe now. But yeah, I just remember sitting there saying, oh my God, it's Snodgrass. I couldn't stop looking at him. Yeah. I could not stop looking at him.
And for me, it's that Scottish Leeds connection as well. Like,
yeah, 100%. That's a good shout as well. Bradley Johnson. I didn't have him on my list. I did like Johnson when he played, but I'm sure he were more centre mid, I think.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think Johnson can mix it with those players.
I don't, not with that list, to be fair. I liked him, but yeah. What position did that dirty rat Kuhl play? Well, he were left wing, mate, but it's only from 04, 05 onwards, so he'd miss out anyway. But let's be fair, as talented as he was, we won't put him in anyway, would we? But yeah, he was a left wing and one of the best left wingers we've probably ever had, to be honest, as sad as that sounds.
I'll say something else as well. Do you know, like, sometimes you think, like, sometimes things are like group think and this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
Anybody watches KG?
Yeah.
If Kuhl was within the last 20 years, best believe KG'd put him in.
Yeah, KG don't give into no peer pressure, mate.
No.
KG does what he wants, mate, and I love him for it, to be fair. He's mint as KG. He don't roll no punches, does he? He just does what he wants. Unapologetic for it, and that's what makes it such a good channel.
KG would just literally say he was better.
Yeah, no, he would. He would.
Go cry about it somewhere else.
He really would, mate. Yeah,
he would.
He will upset the apple cart. He's not bothered. But you left. I think year before, literally, Danny, all these players you're sort of looking at, they all left. I think at the end of the 04 season, before the 04-05 started, like a lot of them went, as we went down. And 03, so he left in 04.
Yeah. And I would say, listen, guys, if Bowie wasn't there, I think it'd be a shoe-in.
Oh, 100%, mate. If we did this, maybe from year 2000 onwards, a lot of them would be all O'Leary days, wouldn't they? A lot of these players would be in there massively.
Yeah.
Your batties, your decors,
Yeah.
it'd be massive. But like I say, it's mainly the last 20 years because we've had a lot of shite, as we know from our previous video. And there has been some little diamond, little golden nuggets in there, which I wanted to touch on today. Which that side so far, is I think it's looking good. The Schmeichel and the White one are the two that stand out as I think that won't please everybody. But I feel in terms of quality, when you look at that so far, that looks mint, to be fair. And I know it's different levels of quality. You've got Rafinha playing opposite wing to Snodgrass. There's levels in football. We understand that. But like, when you look at that side so far, it makes me smile, to be fair, because each one of them players, I can remember some that they brought to the table. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like that's a fair side so far. I hope you all. I hope majority agree. To be fair, I don't think we're being daft.
Matt, you can talk about the tip of the diamond because this was the one that on WhatsApp it was like, what formation are we doing? Because this guy is in.
Mate, honestly, right? He dictated everything, didn't he, about this stream? Like I say,
the
whole formation, everything. I mean, yeah, Eddie Lewis. I liked Eddie Lewis, mate. Back in the day, he were good as well. I'll just read this one out. I just remember Boya, Kewell, Decor, Batty, and Boss. Mate, Decor was my favourite player. He's one of my favourite ever players. What a classy footballer, Olivier Decor. What a player. Decor and Batty in midfield were just something else. I mean, yeah, just so sad that it just ended. So, that side that we had, all those young, talented players mixed with your Batties and your Decors. It was just phenomenal. It just didn't last long.
I mean, I would say that, like I talked earlier about Raddy Kelly, Gary Kelly being my kind of mental thought of Leeds.
Yeah.
Batty's right up there with him.
Who's that?
David Batty is right up there with him.
Oh, massively, mate. Yeah, massively. Did it over 2 stints as well, didn't he? Just absolute legend, mate. I love David Batty. Another one like Gary Kelly. Don't hear about him impressed. Never did he. Just played football. Never heard of him impressed. Never heard of him since. Just quiet life. Wasn't bothered in the fame and the fortune. Just played football and enjoyed the game.
He lives 9 miles away from me in Filey.
Does he?
Yeah. Wow. And he's quite often just like Sunday lunch at the pub kind of guy.
Wow.
But he doesn't really even like talking about football, which is
no, he don't, mate. No, he don't. He's just one of them, and he played the game because he enjoyed the game, and what came with it, he was a bit uncomfortable with. I think, wasn't he? Just crazy. Anyway,
it says something. It says something when Vinnie Jones loves a guy. Vinnie Jones absolutely loved David Batty.
Yeah, he did, mate.
Loved him.
Back spooting Cristiano. Man, that was class. Well, that Ronaldo's first. Did he make his debut against Leeds? I've made that up. I feel like I remember him coming on off the bench, and Batty just absolutely annihilated him. And every time he got ball, he was on him, wasn't he? I don't know if it was his debut.
I don't know if it was his first minutes, but it was definitely really early on.
Yeah, because he was still coming off at bench, wanting to try to bed him in slowly into the English game, and Batty just absolutely killed him, cycling and walking his dogs. Yeah. So I'm gonna hand this one over to Danny. Tip of the diamond, one man.
Yeah,
Pablo. Like, go on, take it away, Dan. Like, who even came close?
There's one person who came close for me.
Did he come close, or was it just a notable mention?
He's a notable mention, yeah. He's a notable mention. But I just for the quality of the guy, I notable mention to Samu Saiz.
Yeah, he's on my list, mate. I mean, it's a weird one with him, isn't it? Because we saw for like a season and a half, maybe 2 seasons, absolute quality like we'd not really seen much of. Because this were really before Pablo got into his pomp, really. Pablo got even better when Saiz left, didn't he? Because Pablo playing out wide right quite a bit, and then he moved more central when Saiz left, and we never sort of filled Saiz role. We just moved, Hernandez in. But it's mad to think we had them both playing like together at one point. But with Saiz, his career before Leeds was a bit meh, and after Leeds it was the same. He didn't go on and do anything. He played like second division Italian, I think it was Italian level or Spanish level. Sorry, second division, and you just think he was unreal on Dayham. Unreal.
Yeah,
what a talent. What a talent. I mean, I don't know if it was his attitude. Because I know
he spat on the guy, didn't he?
Yeah, he spat on a guy and got, I can't, someone in chat might know, but it was like an 8-game ban. It was a long ban.
Yeah.
It was that player, wasn't he, who just so much talent, but I think his attitude maybe prevented him from going on to really big things at game. Because talent-wise, and even stature, it man, sometimes a bit like Messi and stuff. These shorter players, low centre of gravity. He had all that going for him, didn't he? He could go left, he could go right. Such a good player, was he's such a good player. But yeah, like you said, nowhere near. He can't lace Pablo's boots for what he's done for Leeds United, but he definitely deserves a mention for his talent alone.
Another mention is you could slide Jorginho Ruto in here as well if you wanted to.
He's on my list, mate, 100%. But somebody we've missed out, and I think he could play at 10. He's more of an attacking 8, unless he's in your list for the other formation. But Mateus Click.
Yeah, I never saw him as a 10.
No, I know.
But I've other midfield people that haven't been mentioned yet. Fabian Delph.
Click, yeah.
A player that came to us and didn't really do anything, but went on to do a decent amount is Ross Barkley.
Yeah, true. Lewis Cook hasn't had a bad career. Maybe he deserves a mention. He was good of a bad bunch at once upon a time, wasn't he?
I know Joe Wayman really rates Cook.
Yeah. What about going back to wings as well? We had Aaron Lennon.
Yeah.
We've had a few, mate, to be fair. I didn't really... Oh, yeah, look at that one, Townsend as well. I forgot about that. I seen that yesterday when I was having a look. Got a lot of players on loan who went on and had good careers. Like I say, Townsend, we had Jake Livermore. I think he got an England cap. Barkley, all in the early days, and they went on and done all right. To be fair, Jermaine Pennant's another one. Forgot about him. Pennant, Lennon. Oh mate, someone else. Oh, I just realised I haven't even mentioned it. Oh no, he left before that, didn't he? I'm going to say James Milner. Yeah. James Milner just popped in my head.
Yeah. No, mate, James Milner gets in. We fit him in somewhere. We changed the formation for James Milner.
100%. Yeah. I don't know what year he left, but when he heard Pennant, then I thought, what about Milner? But he must have left slightly before that. But yeah, it'd a bit like Dallas would have found a place for him, wouldn't we? Right then. So strikers. So I've got 2 to choose from. 2 to pick, should I say?
Yeah, this is my smallest list. I don't know about you.
Strikers. I've got 5 on my list. Although one of them, looking at it now, because I did it yesterday, one of them now just looks shocking that he's even on the list. But I've got
6.
You've got what?
6.
I'm going to say my worst.
2 of them I'm not really bothered about.
Well, have you got this one on your list? Because this is a bit of a... Now I'm reading that, Rodrigo.
I've got Rodrigo. I've got Rodrigo.
Yeah. So it's not ridiculous I put him on the list, is it then? Thank God. No. I will look at that thinking, do I even say that? Because it just seems ridiculous now.
No.
It's not the side.
No, it's not ridiculous.
Right, going to say. Right. It's coming into chat now, and there's going to be a few here that, all think similar to us. Chris Wood's on my list as well, to be fair.
I haven't got Bamford, I'll say that.
No, no, mate. I haven't either. So if anyone here thinks we should have put Bamford, then I do apologise. And if you love Bamford, this is not the channel for you. I wish nothing but good things for the guy. I hope he goes on to play for England again and he scores 30 goals next season. Just let it be at another side. That experiment is run, but I wish nothing but good things for the guy, personally. But yeah, so yeah, we've got on this list Beckford and Rodrigo. Viduka, Viduka before that, Simon. It's from 04-05 onwards, mate. Viduka would have been on. He's one of my favourite players ever. So, he misses out, mate. He definitely wasn't at the side in 04-05 because he would have been leading the line down. We had David Healy leading the line that year. So we definitely didn't have Mark Viduka alongside him.
Had he gone to Newcastle at that point?
What did Newcastle he went to? Yeah, wasn't it? Yeah, I think it was. Right. I'm going to let you pick one of them for starters, or give me your list.
Right, give me my list because I don't want to pick one straight out. I'm not that confident.
I think we're going to agree on 3, and I think it's going to be hard to get 3 into 2, me. But go on.
I'll give me my list. I've got Beckford.
Yep.
Rodrigo Moreno.
Yep.
Becchio.
Yep.
Kamaru.
Ooh.
And then the other 2 were just throwaway ones. I just wrote them down for the sake of it. I have Nketiah and Matteo Jose.
Well, No. Nketiah in my periphery, I was thinking about him because obviously he did all right for us, and he's got a high ceiling potential. But I can't believe you forgot about McCormack, Dan.
No, I didn't forget about him.
All right, fair enough, mate. That's mental that you didn't put McCormack in there because he was the third player. I just kind of feel like should be in there.
Honestly, it's fine. It's fine. Like I know that sometimes I'm a bit out there with my opinions. It's just who I am. I just
too right. So did you not rate McCormack then? Genuinely, or you just think because you've got Rodrigo on there and you've got Nketiah on there and Matteo.
I understand that. But what I'm thinking is, for me, Kemar Roofe would score more goals with the chances that were provided to McCormack than McCormack would.
Whoa.
I know, mate. I know.
Yeah, I'm liking this. I said to our last earlier, I says, this will be good in this because there'll be a few that, I mean, it's like Rudolph Austin one. We don't agree on that one, but that's fine. It is what it is, isn't it? You know what I mean? You can't like everyone's same. You know what I mean? It's
look, it makes for good content, right?
Of course it does, mate. Like, I am actually shocked. I love it. When I said to you, forgot about McCormack, I just looked at you and went, I haven't forgot about him, mate. I love that. Absolutely love it, mate. I think McCormack were absolutely quality for us, mate. I really do. I think he was class. But if I'm honest, I can't see outside when there's two strikers. I can't see Beckford without Becchio. For me, they come hand in hand. I feel like they both played the best football together. I love them both. Like surely nobody's against having Beckford and Becchio in this side. Surely not.
I won't be. I would say quality-wise, I think Roofe is better than Becchio, but as a duo, as a pair,
I think that. Yeah. Could you imagine? I know it's different years, different players and stuff, but could you imagine Beckford and Roofe playing together as well as Becchio? And you can't, can you? Beckford and Becchio as a combination would work better than any other combination. And I think we agree Beckford gets in. If we want to say name one, Beckford probably gets one at spots on his straight up.
I think Beckford is the person who gets in. I think the other place is the one that's up for.
Yeah. And I was torn between McCormack and Becchio. You're torn between who? Becchio and Roofe.
Becchio and Roofe, yeah.
Yeah, it's just crazy to me to think it last 20 years Roofe would get it. Do you know what I mean? Like people would think Bamford over Roofe, but I wouldn't even say that, no. But
Roofe was lethal finisher, man. He was lethal.
He was, but he played out wide for so long, didn't he? And then when they finally got him in his position that season we didn't get up, we saw the best of Roofe, didn't we? When Bamford were injured and Roofe were our main man for that season when we didn't go up. He was quality. But until that spot, he was sort of played out wide, played in 10, I think, a little bit. He never really... But when he finally got that 9 shirt or 7 shirt, but playing up front, he bossed it that year and he was outstanding. And I was surprised when we let him go, to be fair. I didn't see that coming when we let him go to Anderlecht. I kind of felt he had more to give Leeds. It was a weird one, that one.
Would you say, quality-wise, Rodrigo Moreno was worse than Luciano Becchio?
Quality-wise, Rodrigo's probably got better quality than Becchio, yeah. But I feel like if we're going just off quality, there'd be some of these players won't be in there anyway, would they?
Yeah, I just think there's... with any football fans, any show, there's a bit of sentimentality as well.
100%, yeah, of course. There is. But I think on this one, sentiment wins, mate. And you're not against Becchio playing in this one, are you? You're not.
I'm not against it.
I see your argument, 100% I do. I don't see it with the Roofe one, to be fair. I'm unsure with the Roofe one, but...
Yeah, Roofe was a better finisher than Becchio was.
Potentially, mate. Yeah, potentially. I can't deny Roofe what a good finisher when he got. He was a good player.
Just being lethal within the 18-yard box. Roofe was more clinical. Now, Becchio was more of a complete forward where he'd lay on goals and score goals.
Yeah, he was.
Roofe was a very selfish player.
Yeah, I agree with that. Becchio, what a proper team player, wasn't he? You know what I mean? He'd pass the ball on to Beckford if he were in space where Roofe would have probably took the shot. But sometimes you need that selfish player, don't you? You know, I love that.
Yeah.
Beckford, what's him?
Yeah, I don't think you can have two selfish players because you've got Beckford and Roofe and they end up fighting each other.
I think so. But I agree, mate. Roofe are on my list as well, mate. I'm a big fan of Kemar Roofe, but would you not agree with Roofe? We'll let him go when he was just getting into his rhythm, I think.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Well, that's Leeds, isn't it?
his best season, then we sold him. And I mean, it was probably because he was one of his assets at that time. We sold him and Pontus, but I think we sold Roof for 7 million and Pontus for about 3. And when you think how good they were that season, we didn't go up. We only got 10 million for them both.
Yeah, it's criminal,
what we were running like, doesn't it? You know what I mean? Back in the day, it was ridiculous. Look at that one, Dan. Imagine you're bowling in the Bielsa squad.
Oh, man. Yeah.
So, who are we having as the manager? Is this even up for discussion? I can't think.
I can't. Do you know what? There's so many options. It's really giving me an headache. What do you reckon, Matt?
Well, it can't be Darko Milanic because unfortunately he's already in charge of that other set of numbers last week. So you've got Hockaday, maybe Uwe Rosler, Gary Monk, Steve Evans, and then there was some guy from Argentina, I think, who sort of changed the whole city. But I asked Sean if what he could do with his side. To be fair, you know what I mean? I don't know.
I'd probably give it to the guy from Argentina, to be honest.
Yeah, we'll give him. I think he'll do all right with this side, to be fair.
Yeah, he'd do all right.
Tell you what, mate, he'd have loved Gary Kelly, wouldn't he?
Oh yeah.
Imagine Gary Kelly and Radomir, what he'd have loved them players.
He'd have let Gary Kelly move in with him.
He would have done, mate, would he? He really would have done. What about an harder question? Probably not because of who's in it. Is captain, is it Radomir or does it go to Kelly? Is it Radomir? Has it got to be Radomir as captain?
For me, I've got two answers here. If it was solely my choice, it'd be Kelly. If it was the proper, appropriate choice, it'd be Radomir.
Yeah, I'm torn. When we're talking about Kelly, I sort of had Kelly as captain, and then I remembered I had Radomir just 2 spaces to the left of him. But yeah, we'll go Radomir, mate, and we'll go vice captain Kelly. We'll just bang that next to me. Just so I can sleep tonight. But yeah. And to be fair, with Radomir's injuries, mate, and Kelly being a solid always fit and always available, he'd probably be captain most weeks anyway.
Right, so, we need to switch this to a 5-2-3-1 and get this done sharpish. Honourable mentions.
Let me try to suss out. I'll change it again now. To be fair, just I have to drag them. So a 4. Are we happy with that team though? Yeah, that's a good side, that, isn't it?
100%.
We're happy with that side, right? So that's locked in now, anyway, right? Let's shift these out. See how we do.
Yeah, 4-2-3-1.
It's going to look a bit shit, but
do you know what? The only thing I don't like about this is having 2 DMs. Can we do a 4-1-4?
Yeah, we'll do that then. We'll do that. We'll do that, mate. You said that originally when we were speaking about it, didn't you, for a week? You said, I think that was your first formation, you said, wasn't it?
Yeah. I don't think we've got 2 world-class DMs in there.
Mate, no side needs 2 world-class DMs. No side needs 2 DMs. It does my head in when we play bloody Gruev and Ampere. We don't need 2 DMs, mate. You don't. Right.
So are we totally in agreement that the defence doesn't change at all? Neither does the DM.
Yeah, I agree. Can I just say, let's quickly change his name, so if someone just comes in, they're going to think we've fucking lost the plot. Becchio playing in midfield with Snodgrass centre mid. But no, I'm happy with the goalkeeper, and that back 6 is fine. I'm sure everyone agrees with that. So what are we saying?
Right, so Snodgrass and Pablo, you might as well switch over. Because Snodgrass is going to stay out on the left, I would imagine.
Yeah, man, he's staying, mate. He's staying.
And then we've really only got to do... all we've got to do is change those 2 in the middle there. And for me, I'd love to see Eric Bakker.
Yeah. Mate, Bakker was so good for Leeds, mate. It was so good. So good. Is that not it then? Is that not the only change?
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? That's it.
The only change is getting Bakker in for Becchio and switching it up.
And I'd argue that's a better team.
Yeah, I know you would.
Would you say otherwise? Because I know you like Pablo in the 10, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I think the other side works better. But what the chat think? Do they think the first side were better or the second side? But I think again with that nostalgia with Leeds fans, we love Bakker. It was just one of those players again, like we said about Kelly and stuff. You know, some players will just ask for limelight and just go out there and just give a performance every time. And Eric Bakker used to come up with some big goals for Leeds. You know,
Oh yeah,
one of them players with Bakker. I didn't actually know what his position was. What are you, an attacking midfielder, defensive? You know,
yeah, yeah.
He just ended. He went everywhere with Bakker, and he always come up with a goal from set pieces. Something we don't have no more.
Do you know what it is with me? Do you know what it is with me? You know when you go to the ground or something like that, and you see people with names on the shirts, especially during like the Champions League era and stuff like that. Yeah. And it'd usually be all the same ones: Kuhl, Viduka, Smith, this, that, and the other.
Yeah, yeah.
And you'd see someone with a Bakker shirt, and you'd go, "I respect that."
Fair play, yeah, too right. Fair play. You were brought up well, you. Fair play.
Yeah.
You would, mate. Yeah. To be fair, mate, when we were calling out the managers, I feel a bit disgusted. I need to go get a shower now for missing Grayson's name out. We did mention him at last stream about how good he was. To be fair, so
massively underrated. Massive. How we didn't get I don't understand how we didn't get an opportunity at another championship promotion favoured side.
I know it's mental, really. Like when you look at his career since Leeds, obviously we're never going to get a side better than Leeds, but he's never got anything even close. Like you'd have imagined him, wouldn't you, being in a championship side vying for playoffs? Maybe maybe not now, but maybe 10 years ago, and he never really got anywhere near again, did he? Really?
No,
I don't think anyway. But hold on, what's this say? Now then, mate, hope you're well, bro. Ring me after this. Got a ticket for Blackburn if you want to come. Wow.
There you go.
I'll give you a bell afterwards.
Happy days. Happy days.
Yeah, bloody hell, mate. What else we're going to say? So when we get back to this, mate, manager-wise, I think we'll give Grayson this side. I think that's what we'll do.
The notable mention side's going to Grayson.
Yeah, Grayson's having this side, mate. We're going to give him this. We'll have Bielsa for other one, and Grayson's got this side. But I tell you what, mate, I absolutely love that. And you know what? I'm probably like annoyed with myself at buzzing got to mention Ben White. Like Ben White is, I'm a little bit disappointed for Kisnorbo, but to be fair, even if he stumbled on this video,
no,
he'll be very happy with his mention tonight. Kisnorbo's had some love tonight, but
Matty, do this the right way. Do this the right way. Give Grayson Kisnorbo, bro. Give him.
I just want to see his name on here, mate. So yeah,
you've got to do it.
Get Kisnorbo in here for Grayson. Yeah, that's fair. He gets a notable mention. He's in that side.
Yeah,
but no, I'm happy with that, mate. To be fair. Do you not think when you look at the sides though, right, what we've done tonight, it's crazy. I keep going back to it, right? 3 years in Premier League, spending £30 million on players, mid to high £20 million on players, right? And when you look at that in the last 20 years, Beckford's probably everyone's pick if you had to pick one striker. You know, whether he could play up front in his own, all that stuff. Just if you had to name one striker in the last 20 years, I honestly think 90% of Leeds fans would pick Beckford, right?
Yeah.
And that is crazy. We signed him from non-league and he played in League One for us. His best football in League One for us, right? He's our best striker when we had 3 years in Prem with all the money we've spent on players.
Yeah.
That's criminal. And I love Beckford, right? You look at that side and you go, Snodgrass, left wing. Yeah, we picked Somerville up and he had a good season. Rafinha, world-class signing. But when you look at that Snodgrass, when you look at that left-back Dallas, there's some positions, goalkeeper Schmeichel, there's 4 positions there when you look at goalkeeper, left-back, left wing, striker, where you think we could have done more as a club. Like, for them to still be notably at potentially best players in those positions over a 20-year period at Leeds United is quite crazy, Dan. And I've mentioned it a few times, but it's actually...
it is. But again, like, I also think it reflects real life. Like, a lot of people who go from struggling to having a lot very quickly will waste their money on a lot of stupid stuff. And I think that Leeds United have been guilty of that at times as well.
Yeah, 100%.
You look at like teams that like, say, your instance, your Brentfords and your Brightons and stuff like that, who, like, they're the opposite of just being like, a no-thought buyer. They will sit down and that's why they've done so well. And yeah. And do you know what? Do you know when Man United tried to steal JK off us at the airport? I wish that happened, man.
I know, that's one that slipped through the fingers, isn't it?
Scholesy wanted him.
Yeah, I know he did, mate. Crazy, mate. Crazy. I don't even know where he is now. But yeah, that was a good video. You're right. I right enjoyed that one, to be fair. But this one was a tricky one in certain positions. But you get some, don't you? And like when I was reading Rodrigo, then I felt like, am I allowed to say Rodrigo? Because as I was looking at my phone again, I was like, amongst your Beckios and your Beckfords and your McCall, I'm like, oh, but to be fair, quality's been scarce in the last 20 years, mate, in some positions, and that's definitely one of them. You know what I mean? Like,
look, Beckford went on to go to play for Everton and
yeah,
and stuff like that. You know,
I remember that goal he scored against Chelsea when he ran the full length of pitch for Everton and dinked the keeper.
Yeah.
Goal. Unbelievable goal, unbelievable. One of the best goals I've seen, mate. But because it's little Beckford playing for Everton, it probably
honestly, I think when Match of the Day used to do goal of the month.
Yeah,
I think it won it.
Oh, really? It should have done. It would have whirled him, mate. It would absolute whirled him. Going and going. But no, one of my favourite players. I've met Beckford as well. They'd like they were like a meal and a night with, and they were raffling stuff off. It was Josh Warrington, Beckford, and Jamie Peacock. So it had boxing, football, and rugby. Yeah. 3 legends of Leeds, and honestly, what a night! And
Beckford, said you are a rugby fan, aren't you?
Yeah,
well, he was growing up.
A big rugby fan.
I was brought up as a Cast Tigers fan.
Oh, mate. Well, I live in Alton Bywater near Cast, so all kids, school kids go, we're all Cast, and it does my head in. My young one plays up at Kippax Welfare, and he's only won it Rhinos top. They've all got Cast on, so honestly, I'm struggling a bit with that, mate, because as you know, we hate Cast, and I'm sure you hate Leeds.
So you know what it is, next time I'm up for a Cast game, I'll meet you pre-match for a pint.
Right, do you get to many games? Not as many as you'd like.
About 8.
About 8 a season.
Not last season, but usually around 8. I go with like my cousin and that.
We'll have to go to a Cast Leeds game this season. That'd be good.
Yeah, they're always good, to be fair.
Always good, mate. Always good, and it's one of those stadiums that's crumbling a bit, and I think they're getting a new one at some point. But I love going to Cast away because it's just hostile, innit?
Well, yeah, and you go away smiling most of the time.
Well, you say that, mate. Not in the last bloody few years. We used to, but yeah, we did. But Danny's a Winos fan too. Not wrong with that, mate. But
what was he calling them Winos for then?
Because that's what everyone bloody calls us, mate. And all I do is whine these days. It was bleeding shite as well. So it's one of them. Many years.
I remember going to the Challenge Cup semi-final at Doncaster Stadium, and that was back in like 2000. It might have been 2014-ish.
Yeah.
And Rangy Chase. Remember Rangy Chase?
I do, mate. Yeah, I do.
Scored an absolute worldie try in the corner, and I was full on like, yeah, we're winning today. And then Kevin Sinfield slots over a penalty with 2 minutes to go, and yeah, I ended up going home very despondent.
Mate, this makes my skin crawl, this Danny. Danny Maguire's now boss of Cast. I can't even wrap my head around that.
And do you know what as well? Do you know what, Danny? I'll tell you this as well. He's good because of just that. He'll do really well.
He will. He'll do really well. I think he'll do well, and he'll be our next coach, mate, because he'll leave Cast to come back to Leeds. He'll be
100%. He'd leave Cast tonight to go back to Leeds.
Yeah, 100%. I think when that job comes up, if he's doing well at Cast, it's just a straight. It's
yeah,
100%. Yeah. So I'm really happy with those 2 sides we've done, and I had real fun again doing it with you, mate. We'll have to think of another video for next time and keep these different quirky ideas coming. Have to bounce them off for me and see what you think for next one.
Yeah, mate. You know me. I'm always free to jump on a channel and do something.
I quite like doing stuff like this as well, mate. You know what I mean? Like I like doing previews and reviews and stuff like that. I do them and they're all right, but something a bit different. Like Danny's mentioned earlier in chat, like he'd like to do some sort of quiz format, and I think trying to work out how I can do that. But I've got some ideas with stuff, and I'd like to bring you along for the journey, Dan, for certain stuff, and stuff like this is just. I love it, to be fair, mate.
To be fair, like, I enjoy coming on your channel. I don't have a Leeds channel. I was playing with the idea, but now I'm even less likely to do a Leeds channel. So I just like coming on this one.
Yes.
I've got my SeasidersTV, which is my bread and butter. But as far as Leeds goes, this scratches my itch. So
I'm loving that, mate. I'm loving that. And even though we don't always agree, mate, it's a good little debate when we don't. And when we do agree, it's just that little bit sweeter. But it's been mint. And these 2 videos have been mint, mate. I hope this.
No, they have been good. Well. And do you know what? The last one, the viewer. If you've watched this one and you haven't watched the best worst 11, get over there. Because when I looked at the views on that, I was like, oh, come on, like sometimes you make videos with people. This is from a content creator's point of view, people. So stick with me with this one. Sometimes you make something, and halfway through making a video, you're like, the chemistry's not good on this. The chat ain't flowing. It just don't. With me and Matt, it just goes off. So I think watch that video, man. It's good.
I think it's just hit 100 views today, but it's been a slow burner, that, and I feel like for video it isn't with content and the names that will spring up. If someone watching this now and I haven't watched it, you go watch it. It's a fun video. There'll be names that pop up and you're like, I can't believe that. Like, this is a good video. I've enjoyed this, but I feel like the one we did last time was even better because it's just the poor names that were springing out and the laugh we were having because we just couldn't believe some of these players actually played for our club. Where this one's been a nicer one, clearly. But I'll tell you what, mate, those two lineups we've done. I know it's only a small tweak between the two sides. I'm buzzing with that. But like I say, I can't get my head around some of the positions that we just haven't really strengthened massive. But let's be fair. Kelly legend, Radaby legend, Pablo legend, Beckford legend, Baka legend. There's at least 5 or 6 absolute legends in there and a couple of cult heroes, do you know what I mean? And then sprinkled up with a couple of quality players from different, League One, Championship and Premier League days with your Rafinhas and your Snodgrasses and that. So I think we've got a good blend there. And I feel like we've shown a bit of respect to sort of every single group, if you know what I mean, over the 20 years. Because like you say, we've had, a 9th place finish in Premier League, which were Rafinha's, A-Day. Then we've had your Snodgrasses and Kisnorbo getting a mention. I feel like we've sort of ticked every box from these areas because it hadn't just been, when I was doing it at first, I was speaking to a lad from work and he thought it just bit Bielsa side, you know what I mean? But when you look at it, these players maybe not as good, as some of them players. But when you start piecing it together,
if you look at that lineup, Beckford played Premier League, Snodgrass played Premier League, Pablo played Premier League, Baka played Premier League, Rafinha played Premier League, La Liga, World Cup. There's no player on there that hasn't played Premier League or won trophies. There's not one.
Well, just Kisnorbo on that one.
Oh yeah, just on the notable method. But on the initial one, everyone's played top level.
Yeah, they have, to be fair, mate. Yeah, even your Beckford, don't they? Yeah, they have. Yeah, Dallas legend for his City goals.
Becky played top level at Norwich.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, you're right, mate. They all had, mate. Yeah. Snodgrass played quite a few in Premier League as well. Who did he go on? He played
West Ham.
Premier League.
He played West Ham, Norwich.
Yeah, he had a lot of games in Premier League. Then he had a good career. Did Snodgrass. But yeah, no, I'm happy with that, mate. And I think we'll leave it there. What have you got going on your channel then? Now before we go.
Oh well, I was doing we do like a kind of, it's like a post game show, but not as you know it. So we played Ridtown played on Tuesday.
How did you do?
We lost 2-0, but we do like a post game, but it's like segments. So I have a co-host, and then we have people come on that do like segments. So we've got Norm's big rant, we've got Ryan's pivotal points, this, that, and the other. So it's split up more like the traditional TV show with like video intros and video outros and stuff like that.
Right. You sound a pro, mate. Considering
not really, I'm literally learning day by day, mate. Learning day by day, but I love to just tweak things here and there. Do you know what I mean? And look, we only get, well, if we're lucky, we're lucky to get 200 views, but it's not about that for me. It's about giving a product to the local community. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so I'm lucky if I get 200 views, mate. So don't be bothered about that, mate. Like you say, it's more for local people. You enjoy doing it, which is the main thing as well. And if you get the views and you get the subscribers off back of it, it's just a bonus, isn't it?
Yeah.
Have you had many subscribers since we last spoke?
Yeah. So I was stuck on 72 forever.
Yeah.
And then I got up to 78, and then I went back down to 77. So someone didn't like it.
It's annoying.
When you see one go down, especially when you're on 70, 77, it's like, God, man. and then I did the video. It went up to 81. So I'm guessing you was one of them.
I was one of them, mate. Yeah.
And then we had a bit of controversy at the club where under 16s were going to get banned for it's not good. And I don't want to, there was a bit of homophobic chanting going on, and the FA was
really?
going to charge the club.
Wow.
From the under-16 section.
Yeah.
So I basically put out a video, and I got them all in the live chat, and I basically said X, Y, and Z, put the world to rights, told them, it's all right to be gay in 2024. What are you doing? All this and that.
Yeah.
And then we shot to 91.
Oh wow.
So I'm trying to get to 100 before Christmas.
That is definitely achievable, mate, for a blow at you. Anybody watching this now, watching it tomorrow, day after, head over to SeasidersTV. Dan/Bossnass, the Sonic boss. He's an absolute mint guy. So I've watched a few of your videos as well, mate, and it flows really well. I really love what you're doing there. And I'm kind of jealous that I've not got love for a side like that, because when you take away the money and the glitz and glam and you just have it back to the roots of just football, what we love, all the players love. The football is the reason why we all enjoy the game, and there's so much bleeding shite that is around the game these days that, cloud your vision and cloud players' judgments, and everyone knows what I'm talking about. It's just, it ruins the game, and there's an element of that in football now, isn't it? It's been ruined, and I love how...
He's always in. Can I say the best thing about supporting a non-league team? One, you're supporting your local community, you're putting money into your local area. Two, and the best thing, international breaks don't matter.
Oh, mate, where do I sign up?
International breaks don't matter. I'm still going down to football on Saturday and Tuesday.
Yeah, that's mint, that, mate. That's mint. How many games is he in your league? How many games?
38.
38. Ah, sound that, mate. You just need to get out of that relegation zone, don't you, Dan?
No, we're out of it.
Oh, you're out of it now?
Yeah, the league's that bad. Last time I spoke to you, we was like 17th.
Yeah, you
we're
said
we're 14th now. And there's 22 teams in the league. 4 good. Well, it's complicated, but we've got a bit of breathing space now.
Good. That's what you know. Have you won since we last spoke?
Yeah, we won on the Saturday afterwards.
Right, okay. Fair play. Maybe you'll win this weekend too after being on my show. Maybe I'm a good omen. You never know.
I'll tell you what has been good. There's been no technical difficulties tonight, so that's been
first time. Yeah. We're going up, mate. We're going up. Nah, sound, mate. Thanks for joining me, mate. And like you say, we'll get our heads together and we'll come up with something else for.
Yeah, anytime. Honestly, anytime. Because, like I say, obviously not my channel, none of this, but like my, Leeds United wise, I just don't mind. I'm not going to do. I finally come to the recognition. I ain't doing a channel, so I'm just happy to come on. Imagine not being Leeds or anybody else who's just trying to grow a channel, and we'll get some mint content and we'll have a chat, and that's good.
Too right. Thank you so much for being here, buddy. Thanks for everyone in chat. Danny, Sean, all the regulars. Thanks so much. Easy. Legends, all of you. Like and subscribe, please, if you haven't already. And we're back for this weekend for a preview, the review, the final pint with the own Leeds Bros. I think it'll be Monday after the game on Sunday. All the usual stuff. Now football's back. Can't wait. Bring it on. Take care, guys. Look after your sons.